Phrase 2 of part B begins with a grace note. It is just a tiny eighth note, which means that it could be played freely and that it has some nuances of music notation and interpretation. In the old books, like I mentioned in a previous video, this grace note would probably be played on the beat, but that will result in some polyrhythms that I just don't know how to teach you exactly, and so I don't want to complicate this second phrase. Here is the keys for the right hand. We're going to use the strong fingers of 3, 2, 1 in order to play this grace note and the 4 32nd notes that follow. Those are going to be the keys. And actually, I'm remembering what the books say is that the grace note is supposed to take half of the value that comes next. So maybe it won't require a polyrhythm. I was thinking that this grace note would require you to play 5 steady notes, where what would usually be 4 32nd notes. There's the 4 32nd notes. And I was thinking that with the grace note, you'd need to make the 4 32nd notes into a quintuplet. And I just don't want to try to do that polyrhythm because then the middle of the quintuplet won't line up with the left hand A. But I'm remembering a different rule for doing a grace note. And we could just do it that way. So I was trying to play the B flat on the beat, and I was just doing the first 2 notes twice as fast as the other 32nd notes. And that sounds pretty good to me. It's just about the same as what I usually do. Okay, so that's my advice. You can play the 32nd notes with the grace note added in on the beat, and you play the first 2 notes quite quickly. There's the sound. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. That would be the whole phrase 2 with me counting along. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. I'm not used to playing any quicker than that now because I've changed my grace note playing, and I'm not able to count and play at the same time for that. 3 and 1. I'll practice it for a moment. 3 and 1 and 2 and it's gotten a little faster. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And now without counting. The next finger will lead into our 32nd note part that I taught you in a previous video. I'll teach this to you now in small chunks so that we can learn it easily. With the demonstration I'm doing, you may just be able to click away and try it on your piano at home, but for other people, I'll show you the reasons why I'm picking the fingerings I am. For the 32nd notes, I am crossing under at the end because I won't be playing low notes for a while. So I am crossing under and putting finger 1 on treble C as a way to get out of my 32nd notes. Because the 32nd notes are pretty quick, I'm going to be using those 3 strong fingers like I mentioned before. Because the old music performance treatises say to play grace notes on the beat, I'll be taking time from the first 32nd note and playing the first 2 notes twice as fast as the other 32nd notes. That's the first tiny little gulp. Now we have these chromatic notes. Chromatic means colorful, and it's just notes that are a half step apart. That's the sound. And it's D, D sharp, E. The reason why Beethoven wrote this black key as a D sharp is because we are traveling upward, and the sharp implies that the next note will be an E. So that's why he didn't write D, E flat, E. And there was a Bach video where I ranted about that. I'll link to it now. Okay, so this little group of half steps is 2, 3, 4. That's D, D sharp, E. So now to put the 2 small bites together. Now now that your fourth finger is playing, your thumb is free to relax and to open up, and we'll be reaching the A key, which has that beloved gap between finger 1 and 2 that I always search for. Those are the keys: E, F, A, treble C. And for these videos, I am saying the names of the keys a lot, saying the letters, but I really don't believe that that's the most valuable way to play. If you could, just look at my video and think of which fingers I'm telling you to use and play that way without thinking of the letter names so often, if you can help it. 4, 5, 1, 2. 4, 5, 1, 2, with that gap between 1 and 2. And now 3 bites in a row. And now the fourth little bite will be a dotted 16th note followed by a 32nd note. With our counting of 3/8 notes in the measure, I'll be saying 3E and a. And the first note here will be 3E and the last note here will be a. 3E and a 1. And then we're into the downbeat of the next measure. 3E and a 1. In old editions, I think there was a turn marked here, but it's not in the original publication. The entire phrase too. There you go. I hope you enjoyed learning it. I'll play 2 phrases in a row now. I want to mention some very subtle technical things. I think there's 3 very subtle position shifts and finger placements that I'm doing that I want to explain to you. The first one occurs whenever you go from these notes up to the B flat. You'll remember that I consider the fourth finger playing on B flat a little bit difficult. And here, in order to make the fourth finger easier to play on the black key, I have my 3 longest fingers sitting on black keys, and that makes it easier for my fourth finger to play the B flat. And it might only happen for a very small amount of time, but if you watch my hands in the videos, you'll see sometimes they're shifting slightly, and it's to make it easier for me to play individual keys. So here it is in slow motion. And after I play the fourth finger, I can still hold on to it, but the other fingers shift their position. And because the third finger and the second finger get closer, I also make my fifth finger get closer. So I'll start off in this comfortable position. 4 there, then my fingers close up, and 3 is ready to play A twice. And I finish the phrase with finger 1 on A. Here's time for the second micro adjustment to talk about. Finger 1 is the finger that's easiest to move back and forth, side to side on the keys. And so whenever I'm on the A key with finger 1, I know that my hand will be able to collapse down. Finger 2 will touch A almost. Finger 3 will definitely touch B flat to be ready. And whenever I play B flat, my thumb can snap out and go down to the G key. And it only takes an instant, but it feels so good to play 2, 1, and then relaxedly close my hand up and start the grace note with finger 3. Like that. Or with the updated rhythm recommended by the scholars. Now here's the third micro adjustment. Whenever I cross under and put finger 1 on the treble C, I will start out while I'm holding the C for a quarter note length. I'll start out with my 5 fingers on 5 adjacent white keys because that's just the natural way that my fingers sit on the keys and it feels so comfortable. But I'm about to play this black key. whenever I play this black key, it's going to require finger 2 and 3 to squeeze up a little, and I don't want my fingers to be independent. I want them to be interdependent. So whenever finger 3 squeezes together, I take finger 4 and 5 with it, and I just make my hand have this very small position. You can see how my fingertips are overlapping a little bit. So I'll be starting like this, and whenever I reach for the D sharp, everything squeezes together, and that even makes my thumb is coming off the key because I'm not playing, but if I were playing and holding, the thumb wouldn't come off the key. And as soon as the fourth finger gets to its destination, I can open up again. That might be the fourth micro adjustment. Be able to change the shape of your hand while you're still holding a key down. Okay, that's 3 or 4 micro adjustments for playing phrase 2. And I hope you enjoy learning this part of the piece. Now you know enough in order to play phrase 1, phrase 2, and phrase 3 of the right hand, and we'll get into the left hand soon. See you next time. And we have a package delivery. Maybe you can hear the doorbell. Okay, he didn't ring the doorbell, but that's fine. It didn't disrupt our YouTube recording.